Hello, my cookies. Welcome to Russell Cooks. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I have a fantastic fall recipe. Homemade cheese ravioli with a pumpkin cream sauce. Mwah. We've all had our pumpkin ravioli or butternut squash ravioli, but now we're taking the pumpkin out of the ravioli, making it into the sauce. So it's almost like two different recipes in one, because you can use this cheese ravioli recipe without this sauce. So now that we know what we're doing, let's gather our ingredients. You are going to need some ricotta. I like just a limited number of ingredients. No guar gums, no xanthan gum. You don't need that in ricotta. You got some heavy cream, parmesan or pecorino romano. I got some AP flour. Don't go out and buy fancy flours. No Michelin stars today. You're also going to need some eggs. Depending on the size of the eggs, depends on how many you need. Could be 4, could be 5, could be 4 plus a yolk. We'll play it by ear. A lot of recipes call just for yolks. Makes it a little richer. I like to use whole eggs. I hate wasting the whites. We got some olive oil. You're gonna need some canned pumpkin. I like nutmeg in here. Pumpkin pie spice also works. Vinegar, champagne vinegar or sherry vinegar, fantastic. Butter, shallot, salt and pepper. And let's not forget sage. So now that we know what we're doing and we got our ingredients, let's get cooking. First things first, we are going to make our pasta dough. It should rest for about an hour. So get it out of the way. So I'm gonna save these eggs and the flour, some salt and olive oil. These are the 4 ingredients for making homemade pasta. Let's get my food processor here. I have 2 cups AP flour. I'm gonna start with 4 eggs. We're gonna see what it looks like. These are like large, not extra large, not medium large. I'm just gonna put maybe about a tablespoon of olive oil in. We can adjust this as we go. This adds a little bit extra richness. And then salt, maybe about half a teaspoon kosher salt. This is a good amount of pasta. All right, you're also gonna cook it in salted water, so don't go crazy. Now we're just gonna mix this up, and we wanna get a dough ball. You wanna get it dry enough so, you know, when you pinch it, it's almost craggly on the edge, but holds kind of like your fingerprint. It's coming together, looks like it's balling up. Look at this. This is exactly what you want. You see, you got these little balls, but you pinch them together. This is a teeny bit sticky. We'll work in a little bit extra flour. So this is a little sticky. We're just gonna flour the counter, flour our hands. Don't want too much flour here, but you're gonna need some. Just knead it until smooth. Should be about 15 kneads. We pretty much got it. I'm just gonna tuck it into a little ball here. You can feel it kind of springing back. That's fine. I like to put it into a cylinder. Wrap this up, let it sit room temp 1 to 4 hours. The longer it rests, the easier it will be to roll out. I don't like using a machine. Yes, it's a lot easier. If you have one, great. I'm gonna roll this out by hand. If you have a rolling pin, you can make pasta. Nothing fancy. Anyone can do this. You can also put it in your fridge 24 hours. So this is sat, this is rested. So let's roll it out. I'm gonna take maybe a quarter of this, probably a quarter right here. A little sticky. Flour it up. So we're gonna shoot for as long as we can make it, and maybe 5 inches wide. More flour will make it snap back a little bit more. Now let's make it long. You can see it snap back here. So my method, you're not even gonna need a ravioli stamp. We're gonna put our filling here and we're gonna fold it over. Now it's time to whip up our cheese filling. 1 cup whole milk ricotta. 1 cup grated parm. Now if you want to make it 3 cheese, fontina would be nice here. Maybe half a cup of fontina in here. All right, we're going to add a little bit of olive oil. 1 tablespoon, maybe 2. That looks like 2. You're also going to add an egg. And last but not least, we're going to add a little bit, 1/8 teaspoon, some ground nutmeg. Now let's go ahead and whisk this up. Just really want to get it combined evenly. That grated parm really is pungent. That's what's going to give us our cheese flavor. And then the ricotta is obviously going to give us that creaminess. I'm going to make these relatively big. I'm using this little mini ice cream scoop. I think this is probably a tablespoon and a half. And I'm just going to make sure it's just a tablespoon and a half, not more. And I'm going to place it in a way where I can fold this over. I don't want any air in there because that's really what makes them pop. So we're going to try and do this as best we can. I'm not sure whether we're going to be able to get one more there. Let's fold these up. So I got a little bit of water here, a brush. I'm just going to brush around. We want a nice seal. No loose seals here. You can also use an egg wash for this. If you have an egg white, an extra egg white, because you needed to add a little bit of yolk, that's a perfect spot to use it. All right, so we're just going to fold this over. Easy. Now we're just gonna pinch and crimp around. We're gonna try and get that air out. Start from the inside, work your way out. Here we go. Look at this. And then you can just take a knife. If you want to do a fork and make a little pattern, you can. I'm just gonna cut. I'm gonna leave a little extra. Just go through again, make sure that they're nice and sealed all the way around. I got a little bit of air in there. We're gonna make it work. Really press. Who's in charge? You or the pasta? Really make sure it's sealed. No, that I almost sealed the one that didn't have anything. All right, I'm just gonna put a little flour on here so they don't stick. All right, let's do it again. We've rolled this out. It's pretty thin. Let's get our scoops going again. You know what? Let's do it. Let's squeeze one in here. Now, if you were storing these overnight, I would put them in an airtight container. I'd probably cover them really closely with plastic wrap, maybe put like a kitchen towel or whatnot on top of that. That's how we kept our pasta. We also put it into bins that had kind of cornmeal, and that kind of helped it from sticking, and then the cornmeal would fall off easily, and you weren't using flour or anything that might gummy it up. So we'll push out the air, and we'll seal. Push out the air, and we'll seal. Easy peasy. Let's go through, trim these up. And then just triple check your seals. We're gonna let those sit for a minute. Use this time to bring your water up to a boil. Make sure it's salted. Now, obviously, you can make more. I have more pasta to do. But for the sake of time, there's no sense in me showing you how to make it again and again. So I have shallot. You probably want about a 1/4 cup of shallot here. I'm just gonna use this side. No, chopped fine, not minced. All right, let's open up this can of pumpkin puree. You're gonna need about 1/2 cup. It's not a full can. I know, it's annoying. All right, that's about a hefty, yeah, that's a 1/2 cup. All right, for our butter, we are doing 3 tablespoons of butter. I'm just gonna bring that up, medium heat. Just gonna melt it. I want it to start browning. And as soon as it's kind of melted, I'm gonna throw in my single sage leaf. You don't have to do this. I'm gonna fry up my single sage leaf, get it nice and crisp. I'm gonna put it on top. For this other stuff, I'm gonna probably add it after my shallot has sauteed for a little bit. I don't want it to burn, but I'm just gonna mince this up. Maybe I'll save it to sprinkle on top. You can see this is bubbly, it's starting to crack. We're getting the cook off from the water. All right, it's gonna start browning soon. If you don't want it to splatter, keep shaking it. Medium heat is fine. You don't need to rush this. I want it to turn brown. There we go, crisp it up. All right, you can kind of see in there, I got milk solids turning brown. The little brown specks all over. Carryover cooking is gonna take them even farther, so I'm right there. Time to add my shallot. Drop my heat to low, add my shallot. Teeny bit of salt, 1/4 teaspoon kosher. I used to fry these up in the microwave. Medium low heat, we just wanna saute this 3 minutes. You want it softened. Let's prep our heavy cream. I'm gonna say probably 3/4 of a cup. I'm gonna start with 3/4 of a cup. Might need up to a cup, not more. Shallot seems softened. Let's go ahead and get our pumpkin puree in there and our 3/4 cup heavy cream. We're gonna add a teeny bit of vinegar, maybe about a teaspoon. You can always finish with a little bit more. Drop your heat to low until you get this mixed. Medium low. I'm just gonna keep this sauce hot, reducing it a little bit. I kind of want it a little thicker, but we'll see. All right, I'm gonna add my ravioli one at a time. I got heavily salted water here. It tastes like the sea. It's gonna cook 3 to 5 minutes. Depends on the thickness of your pasta. This looks good. I'm gonna take it off the heat. We got a good nappe. Let's give it a taste. These are kind of thicker. It seems like the pasta's a little thicker. It's swelling up. This is probably gonna be about 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and taste this sauce. It's missing something though. Needs a little bit more salt, 1/4 teaspoon. Add 1/8 teaspoon nutmeg here. I also want to add my sage. My ravioli are looking fantastic. Couple more minutes here. All right, let's give this another little taste. I'm actually gonna add a teeny bit more salt. If you want to incorporate nuts here, I can't eat nuts, but nuts are pretty traditional on this sort of ravioli dish. Pine nuts, hazelnuts. If you want to do them, Cook them up with a little bit of butter beforehand. 3 tablespoons of butter, a bunch of hazelnuts. Toast them up, get them out into a bowl, wipe out the pan, then start your sauce. Sprinkle them over top, add some really nice nuttiness. Very flavorful. All right, I'm gonna use my spider. I'm gonna scoop these ravioli right into my pan. And you're like, you're gonna get a little bit of the pasta water in there. I want to. We're gonna loosen up the sauce a teeny bit so it's not as clingy as it is right now. It's gonna give a little bit of seasoning and, you know, worst case scenario, add a little bit of starch so it can thicken up even more if I need to. I think we are good. Let's go ahead and get these in here. Turn this on low. Now, obviously, I made more sauce than the ravioli I put in here. I'm gonna toss them around, get them on a plate. There should be plenty of sauce left in the pan for my second batch of ravioli, if that's what you're doing. This is gonna be a hefty plate. This is like a Russell-sized plate. Let's dig in. Look at that. Look at that nice filling. You get the texture of the pasta, al dente, perfect. Then the cheese comes in, really pops. That parmesan pushes it, and then the ricotta gives it the creaminess, and the pumpkin cream sauce comes right in. I wish I had a teeny bit more sage here. The nutmeg right on the back end, but it's not forward. It's not too much. You know, I will say, buy the refrigerated, the pasta section, whatever of your supermarket. Get ravioli. Save yourself that trouble if you want. Just make this pumpkin cream sauce. 30-minute dinner then. I don't want to stop, but I gotta stop. All right, last bite. Well, that was homemade cheese ravioli with a pumpkin cream sauce. I hope you like what you saw, and if you did, don't forget to check me out on YouTube. I'm also on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope to see you next time. Take care.